Alright, we're in a Bible club and a question was actually raised. If in the beginning God created Adam and Eve, how come and how did Cain get his wife? But then there's something we should note, because there were some scholar remark that God created another people after he created Adam and Eve, and to be very sincere, that thing is not actually balanced. Now they might be right, they might not be, but then there's something I actually want us to understand whenever we talk about the mystery of creation. The scripture is our anchor point, and the book of Genesis chapter 4, verse 17 says that Cain made love to his wife and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch, right? But then if we check the beginning of chapter 4, the scripture made us understand that and Adam made love to his wife and they gave birth to his son and they named him Cain. Then later they made love together again and then they gave birth to his son and they named him Abel. Now the scripture did not tell us if Cain is the firstborn of Adam. The scripture did not tell us if Abel is the secondborn. We only know that they are both brothers, and Cain is the elder brother while Abel is the younger brother. Now, the scripture did not tell us that Cain is the firstborn. That is, the scripture is only directing us to where it matters. The scripture is not trying to be giving us an irrelevant kind of information. It's giving us information that is relevant to where God actually thinks it matters, and that is the way the scripture is actually going right. Now, between Abel and Cain, the scripture did not tell us that there is no other person. There is possibility that there might have been some other people that was born in between Cain and Abel. There's that possibility, because the scripture does not tell us. The scripture only tells us that Abraham made love. There's possibility that they might have been making love. It might be that it is firstborn and the lastborn. That is, Cain might be the firstborn and then Abel is the lastborn, and then there's possibility that Cain might be the thirdborn, and Cain might be the thirdborn, and Abel is the fourthborn. You understand? The age difference is not determined. Maybe it is 3 years difference, it is 2 years difference, 1 month, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, as it was the custom of the ancients. Now, secondly, the scripture did not tell us that after God created Adam and Eve, God created some particular set of people and lived them in a particular place. Now, there's something we need to check. If we want to check according to the standard of the ancients and to the standard of the scripture, because scripture only reference people that matters and what it wants us to learn. There's possibility that Adam and Eve, they might have given birth to countless of children before them, because I think their age, after we check the family genealogy, before they give birth to Cain, I think it's about some 100 years. Adam was recorded to be some 100 years. So there's possibility that they might have given birth to some particular set of children, but they were not mentioned because the scripture there is nothing for us to learn from them. And now they might have given birth to some children, and they might have started their own family somewhere, right? And and after they've started their family, that is when the case of Abel and Cain actually happened. That is I'm talking based on possibilities right now, instead of assumption. Possibilities. Now, after that, we are meant to understand that Cain wandered into the land of Nod, and so after he killed his brother Abel, he wandered into the land of Nod. There's possibility he might have wandered alongside with his wife. The scripture did not tell us that Cain wandered into the land of the Nod and married there. No, the scripture only tells us that and when it is after he wandered into Nod and made love to his wife. That is Genesis 4:17, and made love to his wife. And then they give birth to a child and he named him Enoch. There's possibility that before the events of Abel and Cain, before the killing, both of them were already married. That possibility is something that we should not actually, we cannot say that, because there's a lot of people, husband and wife, that they relocate, right? And it's just like, if I have a ministry right now, my wife journey alongside with me. That is why the scripture says, for this reason shall a man cling to his wife, and the two of them shall become one flesh. So now, we must not always work on that assumption. Then another thing is, let me check. I already said this. The Bible did not say he married from no. He might have married one of his own sister, as was their custom, right? Because even Abraham married his own sister. That is Sarah. Sarah was his own sister, his own blood sister. So that is almost something that is similar. Now, another thing that we must actually check is the scripture is not something that we interpret with the language of men. As we meditate on it, we must also journey with the scripture. We must journey with the Spirit of God Elohim. We should not believe, or we should not think we already have monopoly of wisdom because of some certain things. I tell you and I bet you a lot of things that we did not know. That God created some particular set of people after He created Adam and Eve. To me, I don't think it is true, but it might, and that is why I'm talking based on assumption. But one of the truth is, if we check all this possibility I said, the truth is, all of us, we all have one origin, and that is Adam. Some children of Adam might have wandered into the land of Nod. Some wandered into the land of the Canaanites. Some wandered into the land of the Philistine. And that is how men spread. There's possibility, and that is how men spread. God will help us. I know that this will actually bless someone, and that is why I've actually taken it as something like a body in order to actually do this video. Thank you everyone. God bless you. My name is Anoluwa Joseph.